Hey, what's going on, guys? It is your old pal, CHH. Happy 2023. We are here, and I'm starting the year off with a recommendation that a viewer had. I brought back horror Blu-rays I want you to own, and the reboot version of that was 10. And somebody said, where's the 4K version? And I was like, okay, that's probably a good idea. But because 4K is not as far out as Blu-ray obviously has been, those are going to be 5 for now. There could be some down the road where I'll maybe have 7 or 8 or things like that, but I thought 5 would be a good launching point, and I wanted to make sure that the one I did today has ones that I'm really passionate about. So these are 4Ks that I'm really passionate about, that I love these releases, and the picture quality really makes me say, no, 4K can be a beautiful thing. You know, there are no Halloweens in this. I'm going to assume most of you own the Halloween 4Ks or even the Friday the 13th 4K. So that was a big that was a big contentious release as well. A lot of people were not happy with that. That's neither here or there, though. So without further ado, guys, let's just get right into this. So I'm really excited to start off the horror 4Ks I want you to own with something from Blue Underground. So I was really interested in seeing this film because it is written by Dan O'Bannon, who wrote Return of the Living Dead, who wrote my favorite horror film, and directed it. That is the 4K from Blue Underground of Dead and Buried. This was one hell of a good film, too, by the way. I really love Dead and Buried. I have the slipcover with the needle in the eye, which was a great... There it goes. Which was a great scene. A really good thriller horror film with a twist. Really good cast in here. I loved this movie. It's got a great opening. I'm a big fan of Dead and Buried. So if that's one you haven't seen, I highly recommend it. And the 4K was lovely for this. There's a lot of great special features. Yeah, absolutely fantastic release. This was a movie that I actually own on Blu-ray. Loved it. And when the 4K was announced, to me it was just a no-brainer to get this. So yeah, I've got nothing but love for Dead and Buried, and I think this is a great way to start off horror 4Ks I want you to own. So look into that one. See maybe Orbit DVD, a little Diabolic if the price is right on there, or Amazon. See where the price is right. And yeah, it's written by Dan O'Bannon, so you can't really go wrong with him. You really can't. So there we go, guys. That's number 1. Number 2, can you see that right there? Right there. 4K UHD of John Carpenter's The Thing. This was one hell of a 4K. I was so happy. Funny thing was, when this got announced, there was talk of the Steelbook that they put out as well, and I was like, man, that Steelbook looks fantastic. I really want the Steelbook. And I stupidly was like, I'll get it day of. That Steelbook was AWOL everywhere. I saw like maybe 1 or 2 people get it in the store, and they never restocked it. I don't know why. They should have, because that would have been easy money, because this is a good looking one, but neither here or there. This is a great 4K. This is a great 4K, and it's also, in my opinion, the greatest John Carpenter flick. Yeah, The Thing is awesome. The only thing I would change about this, now this is a simple nitpick, is this font. I would have went with like just the classic font that they had. But really, that's such a silly thing to complain about. But yeah, I mean, such a great movie. It must be seen on 4K. The HDR really makes this, makes it pop. Yeah. Especially after I got my TV kind of situated properly for this. I was really happy with this one. So yeah, The Thing is a great way to launch. Next is in the running for probably what I think is the best PQ, picture quality 4K release I've ever seen. It's jaw-dropping how good it is. And in my opinion, one of the best movies ever made. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Holy guacamole, was this one amazing. This was the first horror release that I ever watched on 4K that I really said to myself, oh my god. Like, yeah, this was a game changer. This was a legitimate game changer for me. This is the steelbook for the film. And yeah, there's a great, the 4K release has got great art too. It's kind of got like the snow thing going on, but holy son of a gun, man. This one was breathtaking. You know, when 4K is done as good as it can be, for me, the way I like to define it is it almost looks 3D. It's like you can see every bit of data in the image, and it's like there's a world in my TV screen. Like, that's the best way to describe it. And like, there's this Casino. I always talk about Casino's 4K. I love that. But The Shining, my God, this is the one. This is a great 4K, without question. Let me just indulge me. The best 4K, in my opinion, Scream Factory has done. I'm biased. I'm so happy with this release. I really am. There's a track still missing. I can't remember if I brought that up in my review when this came out. But when you see the half corpse come into the picture for Return of the Living Dead, you're going to be floored at the detail of it. And the beautiful, beautiful grain you can see on this 4K. It's not too much. I love grain, but I also have a preference for grain. I like it to be present, but it eventually, as I'm watching the film, I love to notice it, but then it kind of just becomes part of the movie. There are other releases where the film grain can be super duper heavy. I'm not saying I dislike that, but I have a personal taste with film grain. This was just done so well. I could not be happier with the Return of the Living Dead 4K. This is really a movie you gotta have on 4K for the horror fans. Again, I know I'm extremely biased. This is my all-time favorite movie, but my God, man. And like I said, the good thing is they reported every special feature over onto this. So if you want to sell your Blu-ray, or if you don't have it, you're going to get more brains. You're going to get all the features from the MGM DVD. You're going to get all the features from the MGM Deluxe DVD and Blu-ray. So you're set with this. You are set. Last but not least, I actually was really happy with this. Let's go back to Blue Underground, guys. Two Evil Eyes. Now, this is a joint venture. You could call it an anthology film, but it's only 2 movies put together. You've got George Romero and Dario Argento. There's some really creepy music in this. I really like both stories. I think George and Dario did a great job. What Dario did in Two Evil Eyes, this is kind of maybe a crazy thing to say. I think in the pantheon of Dario Argento, the segment he did for Two Evil Eyes is up there with some of his best stuff. I just love it. I mean, mind you, he's got Harvey Keitel in his segment. For those that haven't seen this and are kind of like, I don't know about that, hear me out. George Romero has Adrian Barbeau and Tom Atkins in his story. And between the two, I give the edge to Dario. But George's is so much of a George-style segment that it's great. But Dario is just, to me, he's on fire in Two Evil Eyes. And there's great music in here, and there's some good special features. You know, you've got interviews with Dario, George Romero, and Tom Savini in here. So there's some great features. You're going to learn a lot about this. This was an awesome 4K. I was really happy with this. I love this movie. I really do. I'm an anthology freak. I love anthology, so I really put that under this category. But if you haven't seen this, this is a great one. If you're a George Romero fan, you haven't seen this, this is certainly up worthy for that. If you're a Dario Argento fan, you haven't seen this, it's certainly up for that. If you're an anthology horror movie fan, you're up for that. And if you're a 4K fan, I think Two Evil Eyes is money, guys. So I couldn't be more happy with this 4K. So there's Volume 1 to review Two Evil Eyes, Return of the Living Dead, The Shining, The Thing, and back to Blue Underground from the beginning, Dead and Buried, written by Dan O'Bannon. What a great horror thriller mystery movie. I loved it. So there's Volume 1 of Horror 4Ks. 5 Horror 4Ks I want you to own. Let me know what you think about those titles, guys. If there's any more questions you might have, drop it down below. And if I don't get to it, if some of the 4K enthusiast fans that are watching this video can help out too. Sometimes you guys are smarter than me with that kind of stuff, especially with the technical sort of thing like that. But I love these 4Ks. I think they're beautiful 4Ks. I love these releases, and they make me a fan of the format. Sometimes I've had moments where I wasn't a big 4K fan. I've gotten burned, I feel like. But when done right, it's a beautiful thing. So there it is, guys. Volume 1. Happy 2023. Thank you to all of my Patreon supporters who make videos like this possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you very much.